when Peter walked on water. Okay, so the disciples, they were in a boat. Jesus, he was walking on water, being Jesus. They're like, oh my gosh, it's a ghost, right? And Jesus said, it's me. Don't be afraid. And Peter said, hey, Jesus, if it's really you, tell me to come out. And I'm going to come out. And he came out. He was walking on water. He saw the waves, and then he started sinking. And he said, Lord, help me. And Jesus grabbed him and said, oh, ye of little faith. I'm saying all this to say, how many times do we see Judas get rebuked? There's some of us who are coming to the Lord with this sense of perfection. We don't really want to show God the nasty parts of us. So we come and we just say all the right things. We do all the right things. We go to church, we go home, right? But we don't want to put ourselves in the position to be rebuked by God. We don't want to put ourselves in a position to be wrong. We don't want to put ourselves in a position to be corrected by God. So we hide things in our heart. Judas, imagine if Judas would have actually opened up his heart and said like, hey man, I'm actually stealing money and I have a problem. I have a problem. Hey man, I don't know, like I'm really struggling in my finances and I need some help. Instead of just portraying him for 30 pieces of silver, he's like, I would kind of like, I kind of need a little bit more money. My rent's due. I need something. Imagine if Judas would have had that type of intimacy and accountability. There's some of you who do not want to risk getting punished and getting rebuked by God. Let's be real. If you hate someone in your heart, tell God. We don't want to say it. We keep it buried because, oh, that's too bad. That's too nasty. Oh, I'm not like that. And we try to separate ourselves from what's really in our hearts. You hate someone. Not just you dislike them, you hate them. Tell God. Cuss them out in your private time. Say, God, I hate this, blah, 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 blah. Show God who you really are. Show God who you really are. The dark parts of yourself. Show it to God. I will even talk about something like lust. People keep asking me, how'd you overcome lust? How were you abstinent for 5 years? You know why? Because I was not afraid to reveal that part of myself to the Lord. I was not afraid and I didn't hide this from him. Some of y'all, listen, if you feeling a bit tickled, what do the Jamaicans say? Poom poom turn up. If you feeling like that, tell the Lord. But some of y'all, you don't want to admit these things. You just sit here and you go on dating apps and you think God doesn't see you. Then you go and watch porn with that. But tell him. Say, God, you know what, bruh? It's getting kind of difficult out here. I really just want to talk to this kid. This guy is really handsome. And honestly, I just want to have sex. But we don't want to say that. We want to be perfect, right? That's too nasty. Oh, we deceive ourselves. We're deceiving ourselves. You're deceiving yourself. If you got something in your heart, tell the Lord. This type of perfectionism, it gotta go. It gotta go. Perfectionism is attacking your identity. I want to say something else too. For a lot of us, when I said, okay, how do you guys feel about Judas? Most people said betrayal, 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 betrayal. But imagine, Judas only made one mistake. And we're tying his identity to that one mistake. How many of you are doing the same thing to yourself? You are crucifying yourself for something God has already atoned for. That would preach. You're crucifying yourself. Sometimes you think back like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I lost my virginity. Oh my gosh, I had a child out of wedlock. Oh my gosh, I got drunk at the club. Oh my gosh, I abused someone. Oh my God. And it's like, you sit here and it's like your identity is not in your mistakes. It's not in your mistakes. Hello, somebody. Your identity doesn't come from what you do or what you don't do. It doesn't come from doing and doing and doing and doing. No, it comes from being. There's some of you all. Y'all are Judas in the boat because you're too afraid to make a mistake. You're too afraid. You're sitting there and you know what I'm saying? We say, oh, we look at Peter and Peter starts to drown. We're like, oh, he had little faith. You don't even have faith to get off the boat. Peter said, Jesus, if that's you, call me out. Tell me to come. I'll come. I know your voice. He said, come. There's some of you, God is saying, come. Come. He said, nah, I'm good. Because what if I make a mistake? Nah, I'm good. I'm going to stay in the boat. Ooh. Look at him drowning. Ooh, look at him. And then you point out people who have actually taken a leap of faith and to do certain things. And you try to bring them into the same bondage that you are. I'm going to admit right now, look, man, I'm new to ministry. I'm new to business. I'm new to this life in general. I made a lot of mistakes. But guess what? My mistakes don't disqualify me. It doesn't disqualify my anointing. There's some of you who have just you're sitting here and you're trying to tie your identity with like, I just want to be safe. I just want to be secure. Okay. You're Judas in the boat. Some of y'all will never even come out of the boat. God says, come to me. Come do this. Oh, but I make a mistake. I'm okay. Okay. What's the anecdote? When we look at Peter, I got to wrap this up soon, is accountability. Okay. You got to put yourself in a position to be accountable. You're not going to get it all right. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake.